So who makes the best electric pressure washer? We'll take a look at the max pressure here and flow with different tips. So I tested each pressure washer with a 2mm orifice tip installed. And of course, the higher the pressure, the higher the flow, with the active coming out here on top and actually the Ryobi here at the bottom. Now keep in mind here, the Ryobi is not brand new while the others are. The Ryobi was used for testing those foam canids in the 2 previous videos. I also test them here with a 3mm orifice. Pretty much the same results with the active on top here and the Ryobi coming in last. But surprisingly, there's very little difference in the performance between the majority of these pressure washers. So the ones that came with white tips here, so other than the active here with a 3.5mm orifice, the rest that come with a white tip are 2mm. 2 foot away I do have a mic so we can catch some audio of how loud this unit actually is, and also 2 feet away I do have a dB sensor. Max dB, kind of interesting here, the Lehau coming in at the lowest and the Craftsman being the loudest. Now dB doesn't always tell the full story, so I'll let you hear each one here so you can make the decision. Now they all are provided with some type of soaper. Most of them not very good performance, as you can see. Craftsman did okay. Lehau, not bad. The active, of course, did a lot better here. Alright, I guess that's how you'd say that. Actually came with a foam cannon, so definitely the best performance here. So I suspended each one off the ground, grabbing the weight with the scale. No surprise with the Ryobi, Greenworks, and Craftsman being the lightest, and the Westinghouse here actually being the heaviest. So the Craftsman here, the GPM and the pressure there about average. GFCI plug, wraparound holder here on the handle for the cord, your on-off button, water inlet here on the side. One thing you'll notice, there is some play here. Basically this is a 90 degree right into the pump, and it's got an O-ring with a holding hook. Not a real big deal, nothing to really be worried about. On the back side we have the outlet, holder with the turbo nozzle, and a holder here holding the 40 degree nozzle, along with a Velcro strap here on top to hold the hose. It does come with a soaper. It is quick connect. You can adjust the amount of soap, and you can also adjust the spread angle. Did about the middle of the road, not the best. Hose wise, one of the better hoses here in my opinion. Has decent flexibility there without pinching off. It is M22-14. The wand itself I do think is one of the better ones here. Has a better trigger pull in my opinion, better grip. The halfway point, there's almost no play there. One drawback here though is you cannot use the commonly found on Amazon adapter here to make this an SBR. These look about the same. There is a little bit of difference there, preventing you from using this in the Craftsman. Keep in mind it is one of the louder ones and comes in at an MSRP of $140. Greenworks, GFCI plug, on-off switch here in the center. No real great holder for the cord, even though you can kind of loop it around the back there. Water inlet here on the side, outlet here on the front. On the back here you do have a few small compartments and also the holder for the soaper. Can be operated in the upright or down position. Comes with a 40 degree and a 25 degree nozzle there. So the soaper is used in this SBR form and is the worst performing soaper here. Hose is decent, but you can see we can easily kink it. It does come with a Velcro holder. Wand's about average. There is some play here at that center attachment point. You do have a quick connect on the end. Feels kind of cheap to me. You have a longer trigger pull here. Just doesn't feel like a very ergonomic grip. But you can get this small adapter off Amazon. And you can get a real foam cannon here on the end. So pressure flow about average. One of the quieter ones dB wise. And it is on the cheaper side with an MSRP of $110. Ryobi GFCI plug. You do have this Velcro strap which you can use to hold the cord and the hose. On off there on top. Water inlet on the back. Outlet on the front. Comes with a 15 degree, which is interesting, and a turbo nozzle. The handle on top will hold the small section of the wand. So the wand, the soaper, all the same here as the Greenworks, so we won't cover that again. So the hose is a little bit better here, resisting kinking. Pressure and flow did come in at the bottom, but we do have to take in mind this was the only one that wasn't brand new out of the box. I did use this prior to this video on those two foam cannon videos. dB wise, one of the louder ones. Price tag wise, coming in at the lower end, about $100 MSRP. Westinghouse, kind of a brand you really don't see much anymore. GFCI plug here. You do have a cord holder as well there. Push button, power button in the center. On the front you have that outlet. On the back we have the inlet. You have a soap bottle that is not removable. You have a hanging hook for the hose. A 0, 25, 15, and soap tip. Turbo tip. Extension holder. Wand holder. Touching on soaping here again, soap bottle is installed. You have to have the soaper tip on. Poor performance in my opinion. There is a little bit you do have to assemble. You have to put the wheels on. You have to put these holders on the side. All push connect. Not a real big deal, but it is something to be aware of. Wheels do make it nice if you're on concrete or asphalt, and they are locking. Wand is one of the better ones in my opinion. It is screw attachment here at the center point, which of course has the benefit of being tight, but if you want to disassemble it for storage, it's not really the easiest, and we do have quick attachment on the end. Trigger pull is a lot less than the Greenworks or Ryobi there. You do have this rubberized grip here and on the base. The actual pull isn't bad. You do have a little bit of slop here in that trigger mechanism. Hose-wise, comes with a Velcro strap there. Pretty robust to kinking. Just like the Craftsman, Ryobi, and Greenworks, we are talking M2214. With an MSRP at the upper end coming in at $200. So the Active here has that GFCI end with a cable holder here, which actually has a spot, if you can see it there, where the plug actually plugs in. Comes with 3 tips, so you have that 0, 15, and the 40. Power button here on top, water inlet on the front, and the outlet here on the back. One thing to note with this, the outlet on this is M22-15. Now it does come with an adapter, so you can adapt the outlet from 15. So you have the wand holder and extension holder on top, along with the holder for the soaper here on the side. Soaper attaches at the midpoint on the wand. It is a screw connection. It did decent for what it is. The wand itself is okay. Is screw attachment here at the center point with a quick connect on the end. A little bit longer trigger pull than I would like. We do have to remember that this is M22-15. I would have liked to see 2 of these adapters in the kit. That way you can have one on the wand here and then one on the pump unit. Hose itself has a little holder here on the back. Has some spots for the ends. Not really the greatest for holding them in there, but they are there. Now the hose here is going to have the highest kink resistance out of them all because basically it's a hydraulic hose, which means the outer coating is a little bit abrasive and you're going to have a little harder time moving it around. You also have to keep in mind again, M22-15, not -14. This to me would be great in an industrial application, maybe not so much here in a DIY setting. Has the highest flow and the highest pressure. I believe that's thanks to the 5-piston pump this has. dB wise was at the lower end there. I found the tone of this one a lot better than the rest, but we do have a price tag coming in at $200. So one of the ones off of Amazon here. One thing to keep in mind, this does not have the GFCI plug, so you'll want to be using a GFCI outlet. Does have a cord holder here on top, turnstile on off switch, small compartment for storage. The outlet, which uses a not as common quick connect, hose holder on the side, comes with a foam cannon with a foam cannon holder, 2 additional spots to hold accessories on the back, water inlet, 2 wheels, wand holder. So the wand has a holder here for the tips. The tips that are included are 15, 25, 0, and 40. I will say there is quite a bit of play here at the midpoint attachment, and you do have that quick connect on the end. There's quite a bit of trigger slop there with a small trigger pull, seems all right, and you do have that M22-14 thread here at the bottom. Hose-wise, again, you do have that quick connect. That's not very common, while on the other side you have the M22-14. Hose flexibility is pretty good and has okay resistance to pinching off. So pressure and flow are at the higher end, but nowhere near that 2.4 GPM with a max pressure of 3,800 PSI. DB was kind of mid-pack, and this comes in with an MSRP of around $180. So the cartridge here has a GFCI plug. Now you do have a holder on the side, so it's really up to you if you want to use that for the cord or the hose, or you could just wrap the cord or the hose around the back of this handle. Outlet on the front with this plastic lock. So the connection style there is this smaller type, but of course it's a little bit different here being German. There is a flat spot to be aware of actually on this connector. Holder here on the side for the wand. In the back you have two holders here for the wand extensions. The handle does come up. Comes with a quick connect for the garden hose. Onboard soaper bottle similar to what we've seen there with the Westinghouse. The nice thing about this one is you can remove it, and it does have wheels here at the back as well. So the K3 comes with two ends to go on the wand. Now you do have this turbo style here for cleaning hard surfaces. It does use their proprietary attachment point, and it does have some play here. So the other one is fully adjustable from soft to hard here, just by turning the end. And on the handle you do have this indication depending on where you have this set. Which goes alongside their app that'll recommend a certain setting for a certain condition. Other than that, the wand quality seems pretty good. You do have a short trigger pull without any real slop in it. But hose attachment's going to be this proprietary connection, which snaps into the handle and has a quick release here button if you need to detach this hose for any reason. Now the hose, again, has this style attachment I don't really care for. Flexibility is pretty good, and it is pinch resistant. Now performance-wise, it was kind of lower end of the pack there, but you're really splitting hairs. Decibel-wise, kind of mid-pack. Now the tone was more tolerable to me, and it does have an MSRP of $190. But one thing to definitely keep in mind here is it is made in Germany. Now, yes, probably with Chinese parts, but you know, it's nice to see that something's not actually made in China. So the Portland here, you do have a GFCI plug on the end, has a Velcro strap, and holder loops on the side of the pressure washer here. On-off turn knob in the center there, with the outlet here at the bottom. One thing to note, this outlet is not M2214, this is M22-15. On the back, soap bottle holder, holder for that hose, holder for the wand and extension, and the inlet here for the water, along with two small wheels. Soaper there, not really good. We discussed this before. This is the same one like the Ryobi. Wand here is not bad. You do have a little bit play at that center connection point with the stream adjustment here at the end. The midway point here has a more common connection, so you can use this SBR adapter. You can see there is quite a bit of play there. Overall build seems to be all right. Short trigger pull, very little slop there. I don't really care for this connection type. Use this more proprietary style. Hose has okay flexibility and pinch resistance, with again that more proprietary style connection on one end and a M22-15 on the other. Performance-wise, mid of the pack, again, you're kind of splitting hairs there. dB a little bit on the louder side, and the tone I found absolutely annoying. With an MSRP coming in at $90, so it is the cheapest one here tested. So we're going to call this a no-name, actually listed on Amazon. Yeah, the name's listed as the seller's name. No GFCI on the end, so you're going to want to have a GFCI outlet. Powering the unit up, there's a main rocker here on the back. Then on the front, you have to use this touch interface, which is interesting how you can dial it in, but in all reality, to me, you're always going to be on max, changing out the tip to get the highest GPM possible. Below that, you have a small compartment. That not as common connection style. Wand holder on the side. Basically an adjustable luggage handle. 2 additional holders. Holder here for the soaper. You do have holders on the side here for those quick connect tips. Comes with 4 tips, so yeah, that 40, that 0, that 15, and that 25. At the bottom we have the inlet for the water and 2 wheels here at the back. Now the soaper wise, it did alright for a soaper. I would prefer a foam cannon, but not bad considering. Wand wise, there's a little bit of play here at this center point, and the connection point is a little bit longer style versus the standard. Kind of feels a little bit more cheaply made. Trigger pull is not bad with minimal slop. Hose setup on the other hand, this is where I think you can run into some problems. Yes, it is quite flexible with kink resistance there, but if you fail this, you're going to have a harder time replacing this versus something that has an M22-14 connection. So overall, yeah, decent performance there, but don't be fooled. It doesn't produce 4,500 PSI, or that, 3.2 gallons per minute of flow. dB was actually on the quieter side. Tone to me was all right. And it is a little bit at the higher end there, coming in at an MSRP of $200. So you have some very interesting results. They all produce around the same pressure, which pretty much gives you the same GPM, of course, using the same orifice. That being said, in all reality, I think you need to factor 2 things in here. One being what type of connectors they have in case you want to build off it with different hoses and different wands and stuff like that. And 2, of course, the price. I personally really like the Active here. It's pretty compact, holds everything quite well. The dB is low and also the tone. Don't really care for the hose, of course. Don't really care that it's M22-15, but that can be easily adapted. And the bigger issue here is it looks like I may have actually purchased the last one off of Amazon. I checked their website, and this one is currently not even listed on there. And the only place I could actually see it listed for Obsessed Garage. My second place actually goes to the Craftsman. I think it's got a quality hose and wand for the price. But when we're talking currently MSRP and what they come with, this is how I would probably purchase them. So at the end, like normal, I'll leave the specs table and a table with the connection type and some of the things they do come with. Let us know in the comments if you have any of these and how they've worked for you. And also, let me know ones you'd like to see tested. So of course, there's a whole lot more on the market we can test, including the Bauer, the larger Craftsman there with the wheels. I'll leave the links below like normal to the products and also to the 2 foam cannon videos I did if you haven't seen those. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and I appreciate the member support, and I'll catch you on the next one. So brand model, where it's made, warranty, MSRP, claimed GPM, claimed max pressure, hose length, cord length. Again, brand model, inlet hose connection fitting, outlet hose connection fitting, connection type at the midpoint, if the wand has quick connect, what quick connect tips come with the machine, and if it has a GFCI plug on the end.